Yo, what's going on? We're back. Millennial Hipsters, episode 12 coming at you. This is V. We got Boof.
Hey, what up?
We got Jambone in the
Yo,
house.
hey!
And we got our guest from last week, Blacks. Of course.
Studio.
We're not revealing his government name by his choice.
Bad choice.
But he rocking with us in full effect. Here it is. How you guys feeling? You guys good?
Yeah, man.
Alright, come on.
What is this you brought into the studio today? What is this beer you got here?
Okay, so I brought some libations. I brought some beer. I got this beer for free actually from someone who's just trying to promote their brand. It's called Lug Tread. Alright? Brasserie Bose.
Yo, I like the fact that it has like a matte finish on the can.
It's super hipster, man.
That's what we are, and
Right?
like this is so appropriate for like this podcast right now.
Like we're drinking a piece of us right now. Pause.
Yeah. Damn, I wish I had that on the soundboard.
Yeah, we got Jam on the soundboard as usual, and on the tracks right now. Lil
Pumping
Pump.
some Lil Pump. Yep.
Pumping Lil Pump. Lil Pump dropped a track. Oh, we open these beers right now?
Called Esquedit. I'm not really sure what that means because I'm old.
I'm pretty sure. I think I'm gonna make a wager. It means let's get it.
I'm gonna say so too.
You know, let's prosper.
Achieve it.
Let's make these movements. All right. Shout out to Lil Pump. Actually, I like this song. I like Let's Get It. It's probably the first time.
Yeah. A lot of people hate on this kid, but you know what? I like this song. You know?
And I'm not afraid to.
I don't know if I like him, but I like him.
Okay, you like the song because it's catchy. Not
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I mean,
Okay. I can't knock it for
not
that.
gonna say this
even
guy's
though-
gonna win the Pulitzer Award,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, song's lit.
Okay.
That's how you pronounce it, right? Pulitzer?
Pulitzer.
Pulitzer.
Yeah.
I got it right.
Okay. We will definitely get into the Pulitzer because I know my dude has a lot to say about that. But man, a lot of stuff happened these past couple of weeks. A lot of stuff is still happening this week. I guess we're gonna start locally. And if you guys haven't already heard, this story actually came up like months ago, and now it's resurfacing because apparently these two chicks, they got sentenced for trying to smuggle drugs in and out of the Canadian border. I've obviously seen the headlines. I don't really know too much about the story, but I do want to throw it to Booth because he brought the story to my attention, and it is regarding those two. I'm pretty sure y'all have already heard it. It's about those two Canadian smugglers. They were like doing it for their sugar daddies or whatever. It's all over the news now.
You know what? Yeah. Like just reading that part of the story, I've never really seen that movie called Spring Breakers, but doesn't it sound like?
Oh.
Was that the premise where the girl got mixed up with some dudes, some gang shit, or
I
drunks?
never saw the movie, but that looked like the premise from what I saw from the trailer. Like she got a bunch of like raver girls got mixed up with some type of drug dealer, and then they embarked on a
Like a whole
crazy ass
fucking-
adventure
Right.
where they were smuggling drugs and like doing drugs and like it was kind of glorifying that type of lifestyle, like the whole party girl, like festival goer
Yeah.
type of stuff. But like I don't know if this story has to do with it, but it looks very similar when you draw the comparisons to it.
Yeah, that's the comparison I was drawing because I was reading the article from on Global News. A little quote here. This is what the judge said. She was seduced by lifestyle and the opportunity to post glamorous Instagram photos from around the world. She wanted to be the envy of others. I doubt she is now.
Ooh. Shots fired.
Judge going in.
So this girl's getting 8 years for trying to smuggle
95 kilos.
95 kilos.
How many years?
8 years.
Fuck.
I mean, yeah, right? 16?
That's like millions.
95 kilos of cocaine.
In part, in
How
the
much
temp-
mils is that?
it says to smuggle cocaine worth 16 million into Sydney, Australia, in luggage aboard a luxury cruise ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You know what?
Well.
Yo, the thing is because I think what really gave them away was, if I'm not mistaken, they was flexing on the gram. No,
Basically.
that's what had happened,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
we're talking about like social media. We bring it up a lot. It's just ridiculous. Like,
And it's all Canadians too.
yeah.
Like the kingpin apparently is the 63-year-old. This guy's name is Andre Tamin, and he's facing life.
Oh
Yeah.
He's like the ringleader. He's apparently the sugar daddy or whatever.
The Rick Ross of the
It's like, and
of Australia.
of Canada though, right?
Bows.
Was the okay?
Yeah.
They were the girls were Canadian. They were from Quebec,
Okay.
but the dude.
Yeah, it says as well as a third Canadian, 63-year-old Andre
Oh.
Tamin. He's a Canadian too.
Oh shoot!
Shit, this is, you know what's crazy? It's like, this is like, we finally have like a, listen, this ain't cool, okay? Like,
No,
I'm not glorifying
finally.
this.
Yeah.
No, but we.
I know where you're going with this.
We've knocked Canadian news before, even though we make mention of it, but we knocked Canadian news not for having hard enough
Like,
stories like this.
yeah, like our stories aren't, like, it's like, oh, a moose crashed into Tim Hortons the other night. You know what I'm saying?
This is some GTA shit.
This is the
Yeah.
GTA Canadian youth. This is like the poppin', like, you expect, what I think what we're all trying to say is, you'd expect this shit out of the States, you know?
basically.
And if
yeah.
this was an American story, we just be like, like, what else is new? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think it's just crazy, yo. Like, I never could have fathomed that Canadian people would be out here flexing, doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were 24 and
Mad young
22
too.
were the two
Sounds
girls.
about right. As I said before, sounds about right.
Like, social
This-
media has these,
They
Yeah.
were millennial hipsters.
They were millennial
Change
hipsters.
that
and they
count,
got
man.
caught doing.
This really, I don't know. This is a great example of like where we at in like society, like, and what effects that social media has on young people right now. Like, like they do not care about the repercussions of like what they post, and like what, like they post anything. It could be anything. Nothing's inappropriate. Nothing's like, there's never a wrong time to post something. You gotta post it. If it's like, interesting to, to them in some way, they'll post it. Doesn't matter if it's wrong, right,
Right.
Well, like when we were
kinda crazy.
We were talking about clout last week.
There's no barometer for what's like good enough to post and what's not,
People chasing clout and then
Yeah.
going, the fucking limit. And let me post. I don't know what the posts were. I wish I saw. But what was she posting? Like bricks of cocaine. Like wonder what got her.
Well,
nabbed?
she was flossing.
Well, like
Right?
showing off what her money or like
Oh fuck.
Yeah,
I
I'm
didn't
pretty sure it
get
was-
exactly what she what
Yeah.
what got her.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't cocaine. I'm pretty sure she's not that stupid to be like, here's my brick of cocaine. Like,
That's the whole thing, man. You
What-
Don't, you don't
you
know.
know, I
You don't
mean,
know, you
yeah,
don't know.
I mean,
There could have been something that tipped
I'm
off
hoping-
somebody.
I'm
Someone
hoping.
made a anonymous tip. Who knows? Like
yeah.
Look,
they could have been watching them for 10 years. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. But like, it's not in their mind that, oh yeah, this shouldn't be on social media.
Yeah,
like
right.
I'm wrapped up
That
in a
is that
I'm
curtain
I'm wrapped up in a serious situation right now. Maybe I should lay low.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as laying low
True.
these days if you're doing something wrong. Like everything, I don't know, man.
No, definitely. I appreciate that because, listen, I feel like our generation, I think we were talking about this last week.
We were taught to lay low.
Right. That's exactly what I was about to say. So last week, I think Blacks touched on it too. Like, he's telling us how he doesn't even fuck with Facebook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think in our generation, we're instilled to kind of like, yo, watch what you're saying and watch what you're doing and just be low key. Whereas I really feel, and I hate to generalize with all the younger people that are younger than me, but they don't have a filter. Like, you know, the internet is their main, like, they grew up with the internet, like, it's their TV.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, whatever you're wearing now, whatever you're doing now, you have to go viral with
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta strike while the iron's hot. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
exactly.
And this is crazy.
yeah.
I just hope young people kind of like take this story. I mean, of course, it's not really locally, and maybe it's not that relatable, but I think there's some hard lessons learned here for sure.
Yeah. Booth brought up a good a good analogy
What did I say?
the other day, saying that, like, because we were talking about Allie and how she's on Snapchat. Allie's our niece, for those of you listeners, and then she's 16 years old. So this is her generation, like right now, like the whole social media landscape is like, at her fingertips, and that's her, like, that's part of her lifestyle. So, like, you were saying that we used to watch TV as we were like younger, like kids and stuff. We grew up with like TV and like media and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
But they're growing up. They are the media.
Yeah.
Like,
Right,
they're,
yeah.
when they're on Snapchat, it's like they're on their own TV show.
Mm-hmm.
They are the TV show,
Right.
So they're basically broadcasting to the world what, like, their lifestyle and like their show,
Right.
Yeah.
right? It's kind of like a lifestyle show. They're broadcasting out there.
There are pros and cons about that. I mean, I think when all of us look at that aspect of that generation, we are the media too. Like, we're essentially doing the same thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're essentially trying to kick our feet into the media as well with this platform, right?
Yeah.
I just think with younger people,
But we're mindful.
Right. That's what I was about to say. So yeah, man, like, it sucks that it had to be Canadians, but at the same time, it's like, shit, the story is like, it's exciting. You know what I mean? It's a headliner, right?
Yeah, of course.
It's notorious, and it's not for the right reasons. So yeah, man.
But it's funny as fuck, to be honest. Like, when I saw this shit.
What did you say the name they were giving them?
The media were calling her cocaine cowgirl or cocaine babe.
Wow.
Cocaine
babe.
Babe.
Cocaine
You
babe.
gotta keep it real. You gotta keep it
Yes.
modern.
Yeah.
There ain't no B at the end of babe.
I'm just saying, like, if she met Griselda Blanco, they would, like, she would be put in her place instantly.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be giggles and chats with her.
Yeah, so it's like even the media is making fun of this shit. It sounds like I would like to see a movie. I'm just like,
Hey,
Yo,
on a lighter
you never
note,
know,
just
man.
wait on it.
I want to see a fucking movie.
Just wait on it. Okay. Speaking of other things local, I just had to shout out right now. John's on the way. We still waiting on him, but if he was here, he would definitely comment on how the Raps are doing right now. The Raptors. Shout out to the Raptors.
Yep.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Wearing the sweater in the studio.
Black's got the Raptors sweater on right now.
Support the teams, you know.
Yeah. The
Yeah, all day.
OG sweater.
Not just when they're winning, you know.
Yeah, exactly right.
Been rocking the tooth since 2001, you know, like the same one, like.
For those of you who like don't have any other clothes other than
yeah,
Raptors shit, you can't use that excuse, okay? So yeah, man, DeRozan and Lowry, y'all been doing like a great job out there, and we're now number 1 in the Eastern Conference. So like, that's huge for the city. That's huge for the Raps. I mean, we've all been here before with the Raptors, and we're hoping they don't break our hearts all over again.
With any Canadian sports team, really.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Jays,
Right.
The Leafs if they win.
The Leafs. Hasn't been that hot for the Leafs lately.
You know, but definitely for the Raptors, they're holding it down.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, shouts to that. If we take it out of Canada, if we take it out domestically and we go overseas, a little bit more of a serious issue, and you guys are probably like this. Listen, there's been, and we're talking about Syria.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's been turmoil in Syria for years now.
Years.
Right.
Decades.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I've seen the headlines, and I think I don't know if Booth wants to touch on it.
Well, yeah. I mean, okay, this was earlier in the week. I don't think this actually went through. I was reading about those airstrikes. They wanted to start striking Syria more or again, and you know, I check out memes every once in a while. See a whole bunch of World War III memes popping up.
Right.
And it's like, damn, what the fuck is happening? Like, I think that was in response. There was some video about like gas attacks in Syria,
Right.
but if you read further into that, those were staged, apparently, allegedly. Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's not. They didn't just walk into Syria last night. You know, it wasn't just this president trying to do this. Whatever, man. They can find us if they need to find us, but like, some things are planned in life, man.
Right.
And that's clearly staged.
Yeah.
You know, the moment you mention oil or weapons of mass destruction, that you know,
they want to get it. That's what they're after.
Absolutely.
Right?
I
you know,
think
it's not too hard to piece together the puzzle when you look at it in a certain way. And
absolutely.
You know,
I think when oil is involved,
you think America's really they really care about gas attacks
Yeah.
in Syria.
Absolutely not. No,
They don't even care about what's going on in their home soil.
Yeah.
At this
They're going to
point,
go to Syria to help. That,
Till-
come
for-
on.
come
At this point, like,
Come on.
anytime the mention of oil comes up,
Yeah.
I immediately think some shady shit.
Hey, we're still looking for the weapons of mass
It's kinda bad,
destructions
but,
in,
like, you
in
know,
Iraq. We're still,
It's,
you know,
Anything to keep them there.
that might
Yeah.
just be us. Like, we might just be conspiracy theorists in this
Conspiracy
room
theorists,
here.
yeah.
Who knows how
Okay.
other people feel, but,
True.
you know, what other motives did they fucking have? Like,
Well, in Syria, and I don't want to touch on this too long because it is a bit of a somber subject and it's very
yeah,
complicated
and
too.
it's
Yeah.
exactly-
yeah, a
exactly.
lot of people
There's
are
no- there's no
dying and
answers
shit.
here.
Like,
There's-
you know,
yeah,
all
everybody
condolences
has
to
their
the
own views,
family
For sure.
and stuff like that.
But with Syria, I think, Syria was ruled by a dictatorship, by the Assad dictatorship. The people rebelled, and then Assad started killing the rebellion.
The rebellion.
Then the rebels, they were being trained by other countries, and then eventually other countries in the Middle East started fueling like weapons into the country to fight against the dictatorship. So now, then you have Iran supporting the dictatorship. You have Saudis supporting the rebellion.
Yeah.
Then you have the U.S. jumping in.
Yeah.
You have
And it's
Russia
just,
on the
and then you
other
got
side.
Russia
Yeah.
supporting
Yeah.
the Assad. So it's like
Um,
so many
we
countries.
have
And
a-
That's a kerfuffle,
And it's been
man,
like that
really.
for decades. It's
Decades, yeah.
nothing new. You hear about a Cold War and then come back around. And,
Oh yeah, like this is just
I
like
think
you
we're
know
getting
we're getting
Skype calls.
but we're gonna keep it
from
rocking.
John by.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
We're gonna keep it rocking. Yeah.
Again, nothing new. This war's not pretty. War's not fun.
Yeah,
A lot of things. Again, if you go and just look into it and do the research, there's a lot of gruesome shit happening out
Yeah.
there, and
and this dates back to
It's
centuries
centuries
ago.
again, it's nothing
Like this
new.
is not just like, oh yeah, this is
Yeah.
a contained war in a
Right.
vacuum. Like
Yeah.
this is what happened here. Like these are, it's a snowball effect of like past history
for sure.
of like all
sure.
these countries that
Yeah.
it's so complex these type of conflicts that it's hard to keep track of like what is actually going on, what is real, what is fake.
Like I said,
you know.
America wants to police the world again, and
Yeah.
something happens. Like
But I mean, we could all agree that the killing of civilians is totally
yeah.
ridiculous
Yeah,
and
leave
totally
the
wrong.
innocents out of this. Leave the
Right.
children out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And like the U.S. claiming to be a righteous country and doing the right thing and
Yeah.
all this type of stuff.
There's plenty of evidence to back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
They're not the most
they're-
wholesome role.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. They claim to be,
Yeah,
Right.
So
but
But I think this is just important to us because, like, we don't always talk about like.
it is made news for this week. It's obviously it's gotten headlines everywhere, and
yeah,
Right.
for sure.
And we don't always want to circulate on like the hip hop shit and like what's popping in our locality.
Yeah.
I think it's just important for anyone our age, anyone younger, anyone older, to kind of just know what's going on
in the world,
in the
or
world,
it
man.
surrounds you for sure. 'Cause,
And-
things do affect you, even if it's overseas.
Ooh.
It will come back over, so it affects us in ways, right?
Right.
Going on. What's going on?
So yeah, we just got John David in the studio now joining us. Welcome. The fourth and today fifth Millennial Hipster in the squad. So we just finished up talking about Syria. So if you guys don't know about the Syria issue, go check it out. Do your research. Get educated on it because I think, although we're not involved, I think it's really important to know about. And the headlines are gruesome. Like it's crazy. You log onto Facebook, you see kids dying, and I think it's just something that we should be aware of because there are relief efforts in Canada, and I think if we get involved, I think it's more productive than anything else. So yeah, man. And actually, we can bring it back domestically to Canada. And I'm not sure if again Booth wants to touch on this.
Okay, like I'm looking. I'm just
I'm
trying
waiting to find
I'm
out
just
what the hell
trying
this is about.
to read up on it because
I heard about this too.
who dropped the article in the group? Because I actually didn't even I just glossed
Oh
over
shit!
it.
Is it gonna get like lit right now?
It
Like,
might have been you, no?
No, somebody dropped it. Was it
Okay.
me? Okay, well I just
That's
want
being super vague right now.
So basically, Trudeau, allegedly, I don't know the
Trudeau's
facts. But
okay. Okay, I don't like
You
this.
still on topic of Syria?
No,
no,
okay.
but do you have something to say about Syria?
No,
Yeah.
because I don't even know what's going on with that.
Right.
But I know like shit has been going on there for time.
Right,
Yeah,
right. Which we
as
just
we were
touched
saying earlier.
Yeah.
Chemical
It's
attacks
war.
and
It's
stuff, right?
it's nothing new, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
They need to
anyways,
stoke
sorry.
fair to continue their efforts. It's war.
Yeah.
It's war.
Okay, so yeah, here I found the CTV news article about Trudeau government wanted to call for decriminalization of like all drugs.
All illicit drugs.
All illicit
Yes,
drugs.
yes. Okay,
And
that's
I-
the one. Okay.
Let me just throw in my conspiracy thing. The
Oof,
my-
conspiracy theory.
my connection.
Conspiracy.
You need those
It's like a segment. This is a segment.
So we're just talking about
Let it
Syria.
rock. Let it rock. Poof.
And Trump making all these like rash decisions to just like kill people and shit. And then like the same weekend, last weekend, this article comes out with what now Canada wants to make all hard drugs legal. So what?
Right.
We're gonna
Yeah.
all just be like
We haven't even
sedated
officially
and-
legalized marijuana yet, but
Yeah.
we're already thinking about illicit drugs. Like,
like
One
how do
step
we
at a
go from
time.
legalizing weed to
That's
boom?
that's extreme.
Yeah, that's very
one
extreme.
extreme to the
Very
next.
extreme.
What's the rationale? Like what is like? How did they come up on this? Like is
I don't know. Like,
What's up, Ottawa? What's up?
yeah, what's up, Ottawa? What's going on?
what's
you
up,
got
Ottawa?
What's
True.
there?
That was an excellent clip.
Parliament
that.
Hill, we need some answers. All right,
We
so
do need some answers.
Yeah.
What is
Um,
up, Ottawa?
we want to see the your train of thought here. What the
Anyways,
You know
yeah,
what though?
let's,
Speaking
Yeah,
on
let's go down with that.
Speaking on illicit drugs, though, I mean, if we don't know too much about this story, I do know that in Toronto they're making more of an effort to make these safe injection sites. If you guys have heard of those,
Actually,
I've heard
the,
about
they've been
those.
around the
I've heard
heroines
about
and for the
safe.
recovering addicts.
Right.
for clean needles and
Right,
whatnot.
right.
Like,
So, I
I
mean,
get it.
it's
but-
like instead of trying to deter people from actually taking drugs, what we've done is we've set up areas designated for the use of these illicit drugs, so people can at least take them safely, right? And I think that may have been the rationale with trying to at least decriminalizing illicit
Right.
drugs for the addicts, because addiction is serious. And
It is.
for people who are addicts, like to be criminalized and thrown in jail, I don't think they're actually getting the help they need.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably behind.
And also for the guys, the kingpins out there and who are pushing and killing and the murder. With drugs comes murder. Obviously,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
just a
Bad thing.
Crime.
And I think they're and people who
general.
are they're kind of stuck in those areas in the places of the world where they can't get away from those people because they rule the cities.
Yeah, yeah.
They run the villages that these
Especially
people
in
work and live in.
impoverished areas.
And I think maybe it might be just to kind of ease some of that, because if it's not illegal, you
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how well that works.
You don't have to kill and steal for
right.
it.
I don't know how
because
well that works. It's kind of like the
it's-
prostitution thing, Don't make it illegal.
Right.
Human trafficking, I guess,
Yeah.
might decrease. I don't know the stats on it, and
I get what you're
I
saying.
kind of see their
Less bad things would be tied to it, and
Yeah,
you know,
again,
drag it.
if it's
with
not
it.
illegal,
Yeah.
I don't have to be shooting this guy over it. We can both get it.
Exactly.
It's here. It's available
If it's
for us.
if it's readily available,
You know?
there'll ultimately be less crime. That's a fact.
That's
It's
right.
happened in,
Right.
in multiple countries where they've implemented this type of law. So I think it's a good thing. The fact that they're planning on doing this with all illicit drugs is kind of crazy
Yeah, like
to
I
me.
said,
Like
they haven't even
baby
Allegedly.
steps,
marijuana
baby
yet,
steps.
they're
But like
jumping
I mean,
Yeah.
this is one statement they came out with. Maybe they might refine it.
I think they've already kind of like begun talks about rejecting it. I'm seeing. some
Yeah, it's probably
articles
still
from-
they're in talks about it, so it's not like
I mean, every law starts as a bill, so
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
tabled and
Yeah,
then it
yeah,
goes
has to,
through
there
a
has to be some
fucking
discussion
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it
yeah,
before
yeah,
it's
for
slammed
sure.
down or what.
yeah.
Right. So yeah, I mean, again, listen, if you're a millennial hipster, if you're a Gen Z, if you an old fuck listen to this podcast, do the research. We're all about knowledge. We're all about like actually reading the
You
articles.
know, we want to bring awareness.
That's what it is. It's all about awareness.
Awareness,
So now that John just hit the scene,
What
Hey!
I actually want to talk about one last serious thing before we go off the fucking chains. And this story has been continuing the headlines for like a really long time.
Right,
and
right.
I'm not sure if John knows about it, or like any of you guys, but I know you guys have heard of Bruce MacArthur and how he's been catching bodies all over the city.
Yeah.
So just to like catch up, he's caught like 7 bodies, I think 7 or 8.
8.
His 8th victim, and his 8th victim was actually a Sri Lankan immigrant who came from Sri Lanka. Really
2010.
2010,
Which
humble
is-
beginnings.
Which is recent.
Yeah, it is relatively
yeah,
recent.
rel-
Are all
relatively
victims
recent.
homosexuals or?
That's the other thing.
Have
Well,
that kind of background?
I think they were. I think he targeted homosexual men in the city.
Okay.
But in terms of this one, the Sri Lankan immigrant who came from
Right.
from Sri Lanka, he's obviously of Tamil descent. Nothing, like, a lot of people didn't really know much information about him except for his family back home. And
Okay.
From what I'm inferring is that I don't think. I mean, I'm just making a superficial
Well, no
assumption.
one filed like a missing report.
Well, that's what it is. His
Missing
family,
persons
his
report.
family back home did file a missing report.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, and then they contacted like his immigration representative, his lawyer, and then his
Right.
lawyer went into an inquisition and where is this guy? And then once they ID'd the body, they found him in a planter that Bruce MacArthur buried him in.
Another planter.
Jeez.
Like this man.
And then they tried to match his dental records, and eventually there was a link. They linked him to the family. But I just think it's tragic, and I think I would just say, I'm assuming, John, you're from that cohort, that you can speak to, from the South Asian community about just Tamil people, Sri Lankan people coming over here trying to start a better life. And I think, personally, I think the tragic part of it is that he came from a land of turmoil. He came here, and then he was murdered by a Canadian
Yeah,
citizen.
that's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
And
bad.
it's just gut-wrenching. And I think no matter who you are, it's gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think specifically for...
Just to know that's happening in Toronto, even like it's,
Right.
we don't have a lot of these guys. Hopefully,
Yeah.
that, it's not a.
It's very bizarre when you you hear about this. Like, I think everybody's a little in shock about this entire ordeal, this
Right.
entire situation. Like, because we don't really hear a lot about psycho killers and murderers and serial killers in our in Canada, let alone in Toronto. Like,
Really,
this is like our city. Like,
It's been about this one dude for the last few months.
Yeah,
you
has
know?
it?
Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know they've been canvassing places right here in our block, our
Yeah.
area where we live here,
yeah.
and it is kind of.
It's
It
scary.
does kind of make you feel away.
It's, yeah. I mean,
You know,
it's crazy.
I'm curious as to how you met these people. I know some of them were like on the Grinder app.
Probably on the ground, yeah.
Right.
But I don't see
knows,
this,
go to a gate.
And
this
that-
guy being on that app.
That's
You
what
know
it is. I don't see
Which
this
is
Tamil immigrant. No, that's the thing. When you read the headlines, no one knows how they cross paths. Which is super weird. And I think just to speak to that whole serial killer thing, the last time we heard about a serial killer, the one that stands out is Paul Bernardo, right?
Yeah, true.
And
Or
this
a
whole,
Picton killer.
or
The
yeah.
farmer, yeah.
Yes, yeah, right.
And I think Torontonians, we're so simpleton. Like, we're such simple folk that when there's a serial killer, we're all freaked out. It's like, oh my god, how could this happen in our community?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think in terms of all this, and not shout out, but rest in peace to all the victims.
Yeah, for sure.
But I just feel particularly, we grew up in a diaspora. We grew up in Melbourne. There's a huge Tamil community, and a lot of them have come from hardship. And I think a lot of us know that. And for him to have been killed this way is
and a recent newcomer too,
right?
Yeah.
And-
which is I'm very skeptical of how they met, because it's he could have been an immigrant that came here from 30 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Or 20 years ago,
You see,
but he came here
this is
from
a-
serial killers, too,
8 years
they
ago.
do
So it's
have, like, a
he's
MO,
pretty fresh
You know?
in here.
These
So
guys
it's
do have an MO.
He was.
Yeah.
I think I was reading. He was like a lonely, quiet dude. He's just seeking
Right.
And
friendship.
again, then there
or
you go.
whatever.
So
Yeah,
not too many
yeah.
people are gonna miss you or look for you until it's
Right.
too late.
right.
Yeah,
You
but
know, it's not someone
this
who's on
is-
the gram every
I'm
day.
fully making assumptions, but this is how I think it went down. He saw him somewhere.
He's like, hey,
No.
come over here, let's talk.
Yeah, and then that was it. And
Yeah.
then he befriended him, and then somehow he got
Yeah.
him into some
He
intimate.
figured, hey, this guy's talking to
Some
me.
extra-
Hey, it's my
Yeah.
first friend. We can
Yeah.
have a discussion. And
because I'll be honest, from personal experience, I've had random. I don't want to use this term, but fobby kind of people walk up to me
Right.
at the bus stop or whatever. I'll be waiting at a bus stop. This is when I used to take a bus, but and they'll start talking to me hey, how's your day?
Right.
Or kind of fobby right? And they're just trying to I guess kind of
mingle with
mingle,
of course,
get
of course. We come.
They're
Ki-
trying to learn how to be
Yeah.
more like you
Right.
because they want to
Try to
assimilate.
You know, you
socialize
go to Toronto,
and
the
stuff
school
like
face
that.
capital. We don't want to we wind down the window.
Yeah.
We come at the intersection together. We pull forward a little bit. We don't want to
Yeah,
interact with each
exactly.
other. It's
Right.
very cold.
Right. I
Yeah,
understand.
and
Yeah.
they're trying to kind of
Well, these
ingrain
people
themselves
trying to
into
assimilate
society.
to our society.
Yeah,
right?
to
just
pretty
trying to
much be
communicate.
a part of the community, part of the city. They want to be here. It's not like
Yeah.
they just they come here and leave. This is their life now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is where they want to be, and then they
Yeah.
kind
You guys
of
get
they're
guys
friendly
like
in
this
that
that
way.
take
A
advantage
lot
of
of them
that.
are friendly in that way, right? So it's kind of sad that somebody would take advantage of somebody like that,
Right.
you know.
That being said, I mean, I think we've all listen. You were saying you've heard enough of Bruce MacArthur months ago.
And that was a couple casts ago.
You said you've heard enough of him months ago.
Probably more
and I think,
bodies they haven't found.
Because
and that's another thing. That's another scary
Yeah.
thing. How many more bodies is this guy gonna claim? You know, and I just think.
Sad, but we won't find them all.
And listen, I identify with all the victims who were killed tragically. I just think in terms of this most recent one, it's like he's just on our front door now, right?
If you actually look at the victim list, there's another Tamil guy.
Oh, there was that. You're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right about that.
yeah,
And I just
there's
don't
like 2 or 3 brown guys are like, you
We're
know,
in Toronto,
are-
and that's
It's like
you can really go
if you're gonna
every
be-
spice and flavor.
Hey, well,
That's
well,
the
if
thing with
you look at all the victim headshots, you can tell there's
You
kind
could-
of there's
again,
kind of
Toronto,
a type.
yeah.
No, there's kind of a type that he likes.
He's going
these
for
guys
it.
have MOs.
He
is
likes
what
a
I'm
little
saying.
like a middle-aged dude
There's
with
a profile.
bit of,
I think
There
there was
has to
one
be.
Asian
Goat
guy
face,
in
bro.
that group too.
Probably
Like
is.
he's going all across the fucking board. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. This guy's a fucking freak. All right. Like I would like talking about this subject. But...
under the jail.
Yeah, for sure.
Put him under the jail.
I
With
know
R. Kelly.
the police department, the police force was getting some slack because I guess they made a statement saying that the gay community or whatever you want to properly call them, they didn't offer up enough information to kind of help the police when they were responding to
Really?
these tips they were getting, and so you kind of ruffled some feathers there.
True. You know what's crazy? Why are the police looking at the community and blaming the community? You know, that my opinion is like the police should be out there doing their fucking job. You know what I mean? Like instead they're looking at the community and saying you didn't do enough. Like it's just so
but
crazy.
You
right?
can think about it. You get it from our community too. You know, something happens
That's
here.
all
Oh, we don't want to
communities,
talk.
Of course.
It's just what it is. You know.
Right. But yeah, man, I just think.
Well, there's always been that clash between the police and that community.
And
No?
Yeah, yeah.
For sure.
Was it the
Community, for
Pride
sure.
Parade where they're like, oh, we don't want the police,
Or even
there
that too.
or
Yeah.
something?
Now we can't have the police there. They don't want. I heard they want to segregate the drag queens from.
Oh,
the
right.
gay
They don't
parade
want the
now.
I
drag
heard
queens
about
in the
this.
parade
So
because they're
what is-
afraid that they'll offend transgender.
the
people.
transgender. You know, so you can't make everybody
So it's getting
happy at the end of the
there.
day.
No, but that in itself is like you're being a hypocrite. I thought you were accepting
Yeah, I
of
would say
everybody.
Isn't
In
it-
my opinion,
Right,
I would
it's
say
about
so.
equality, right?
Yeah.
Well,
LGBTQ.
yeah, isn't that like that's all? That's a group, right? Y'all are in the same group.
They don't want to all be in the same group.
I think when calamity like this happens in our city, it's only natural, and especially nowadays, it's only natural that everyone's gonna be like divided. You know.
Yeah, and pointing fingers and.
Absolutely, and as the city gets more dense and we all come from different places, it's going to be harder for us to kind of maintain that unity when things like these happen. So yeah, man. I mean, I guess I don't really want to dwell on Bruce MacArthur,
Yeah.
but that is definitely something that's
you wanna
happened in
do coffee?
Canadian news.
Coffee shop?
Yeah.
But the pièce de résistance,
I think we were waiting to discuss this one.
the
right?
point of contention, all right, one of the biggest news headlines, and it sucks that it's not from Canada, because if it was from Canada I would be so proud, or a little bit not proud, but Starbucks
Yes.
is out here fucking up. Okay, and this is Coffee Shop by Young Jock. Shout out to this song. It's an old track. I know John maybe knows this one. This is a great song. I love this song.
Coffee shop. Starbucks is a coffee
Featuring
shop.
Gorilla Zoe.
Featuring Gorilla Zoe.
Shout out to Gorilla Zoe.
That's what it is, man.
That's a dude that sounds like Biggie or look like Biggie.
No, that was
Gorilla Black.
Gorilla
Okay, never
Zoe
mind.
is Hood Figure.
Yeah.
Gorilla Zoe, he's that guy that does Hood. That's on
That's one of
Hood.
my favorite
Okay,
songs
okay.
of all time.
I do like that track.
Hood Figure?
Yeah.
Hood Figure's a great song. I love it. So he says this one like Kanye or some shit. I remember that one line.
I don't
Anyway,
need skill. I don't need a skill for the work. I can eyeball perp.
oh shit!
Bars.
So yo, check out Young Jock Coffee Shop. Check out Gorilla Zoe.
And check out this news article.
And check this news article out, because let's get into it. Listen,
If you haven't
So
seen
two African Americans
Let it
walk
rock.
into a Starbucks.
Yeah.
that's how the joke starts. I'm joking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They sit.
By the way, you've probably been under a rock if you haven't fucking heard about it.
That's what it is.
Because this has been
It
the
has
shit
been
all week.
everywhere.
So they sit down and they don't order anything because what they're waiting for friends or
Yeah,
something.
they're waiting for friends.
And then what the manager calls the police Or what? Did the staff confront them first, or did they call the police without
That's-
even
I
confronting
think
them?
have we all seen the video?
I've seen the video.
I've only
I saw the
seen
video.
that snippet, whatever they chose to show
I
us.
see them getting arrested and walking
and
out,
that's
right?
it. I don't know what led up to that. I don't see the bartender, whatever you barista, whoever
Yeah.
the
Call him a
cashier.
barista, yeah.
I don't see them talking to the people saying, "Hey, can you leave?" I don't see none of that back and forth. I just see one guy complaining, "What have they done wrong?" and police
Yeah.
are showing
Yeah.
up like instantly.
Yeah.
So
But the guy
there-
with the
there had to be
camera, he says, I saw it from the beginning. They did nothing wrong.
Yes, I heard that line.
And there was
but
a
again,
lady shouting that too.
Yeah,
I think
but
so.
they don't.
We don't
see
get
it.
to see, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to go around the table and see everybody's takes on this?
I would
Or-
love to. Let's.
All right.
I want to start with Booth.
All right.
All right. I mean, like Blacks. I saw the article, saw the video. You know, it does kind of just start in the middle of it. You see the two cops, you know, or two or three cops swarming two black dudes. They're just sitting, waiting for a friend, and because they didn't order anything, they're being told to get out.
Oh yeah, the phone call got released on TMZ or something, right?
They did?
The phone call from the manager to the police.
Okay.
no.
Well,
Yeah, okay.
so it
Yeah,
was.
I haven't heard that yet. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You know, obviously, you know, it's wrong. Fuck, like, who's gonna say that it's right or anything? But yeah, like, I guess that's all I really want to say. Like, it was stupid. Like, well, it was the manager who called. Basically, was it the manager?
I don't know if it was a manager.
That's what I'm saying.
Some
Like,
sort of stuff.
who made the phone call? I guess that's my question. Who saw these dudes chilling and was like, who called the cops? Who called the fucking
the place didn't look
cops?
packed to me. Again, only one angle. It didn't look packed. I'm pretty sure there was other seats. They weren't hurting for the two seats.
I'm not. You know, it's not
You
like
know?
they were taking up seats that they
Like I
were
said-
for. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't.
You
Look
guys
that
are
way
sitting
to
in
me.
the white seats.
Yeah, right? You guys are sitting in the front of the restaurant.
yeah.
Get in the,
Yeah, go-
like, anyways, who wants to go next? John, take it away.
What did you hear from the recording, John? Did you listen to the recording at
No,
all?
I just heard like a little snip or like these two guys are here and they're not leaving. That's all I heard.
Okay, so from what I got from this story, I'm just gonna pop it. So apparently one of them, so the two black men sit down. One of them actually asks for like the restroom, to use the restroom,
Okay.
and they're told it's for paying customers only, right? So then they sit back down. Then the cops show up. And then I think at that point in time they profess to the cops like, "Hey, we're waiting for a friend. We're just waiting for our friend to get here." And another thing is that they weren't even read their rights by the cops.
Yep,
The
I
cops
heard about
cuffed
that.
them. Then, as the cops are cuffing them, their third friend arrives, who's a white guy.
It's a white
Yeah.
guy. Gotcha.
And then the white guy is
Perfect.
all up in arms, saying like, "Why are you arresting my friends? What's going on? Like they didn't even do anything. What did actually he's like flustered. You know what the fuck is going on?" So then he starts asking, I believe, the other white woman in the store,
And she's
"What
like,
did they
"Oh,
do?"
I saw everything.
Yeah, and then the white woman's like, "I saw everything. They didn't even do anything."
I
Right?
didn't do anything either, but I saw everything.
My take, I think, and I do have a lot to comment about this, but I will say my take is, I have one of my friends used to work as an assistant manager in Starbucks, and he told me that, listen, I was working in a Starbucks in the heart of downtown Toronto, and people used to come in, take shits, piss, do whatever the fuck they wanted to, didn't pay, didn't buy shit.
Yeah.
We let them walk in and out freely.
Yeah.
Sometimes he even professed to me that sometimes they'd ask for water, didn't buy anything, and we were obligated to give them water. Right, and then he said I was under instruction to do so because it's just good business.
But that's what it comes down to.
Right?
It depends on who's managing that place and what they're cool with. and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Absolutely. And yeah, Jem, I want to hear from you actually.
All right, so I saw the video. I saw just like everybody else, like, you know, I saw the cops in there already. These two dudes get up, they put the cuffs on them, and then they walk them out. And their friend that they were waiting for is there, you know, talking to the cops like he's just like, what the fuck, basically. And he's like, you know, are you arresting them because they're black? Like, what's going on here? They're just waiting for me. Like, you know, we're just meeting up here. What's the problem? and then the lady actually filming behind the camera. Well, I mean, everybody explains this, right?
Right.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, what the fuck? Like, they didn't do anything. So I just wanted to like lay that down before I go into what I'm trying to say. I go into establishments all the fucking time. The other day, I literally was in this situation. I was waiting for my friend at a Tim Hortons for like 10 minutes. I came in there, didn't buy shit. I was meaning to buy shit, but when he got there, right? I'm not gonna drink my coffee by my fucking self, right? So I came in there, sat down, waited for like 10-15 minutes for my friend. No one bothered me. No one touched me. No one talked to me. No one was looking at me. We came in, we ordered coffee, and then we sat down. We went outside, whatever.
It's a regular Sunday.
And like there were 10 other people doing the same fucking thing. I don't know if it's a Canadian thing or the history of the states that you have to kind of scrutinize
Every black person that
darker
walks in.
skinned people wherever they fucking go.
Even if they're just fucking waiting.
Yeah.
But
You can't even wait.
this was a very extreme measure in my opinion. Like, just because some guys are like waiting in your establishment for a little bit, doesn't mean that you can just call the cops on them. I guarantee that if this was, some other race, this would not have fucking happened.
Right.
Like, imagine if some guy is there, Asian couple is there.
Let's
like,
pick the other end of the spectrum, like two white guys in suits.
yeah,
Like-
yeah, exactly. I'm even saying like a couple.
Yeah.
Not even like two Asian guys, just like a couple. I don't know if that changes their dynamic or anything, but like saying like an Asian couple in there, you wouldn't call the cops on them. Like they're probably just waiting for their other friends to come meet them to have fucking coffee. Who knows how long they've been waiting, right?
Right.
It's not like a restaurant where you like have a reservation and you're fucking there. And then they ask you, oh yeah, how many friends are you bringing through? Or like,
But even
I could even understand in that situation because like that happens to me when I'm holding a table for
Sure.
a bunch of my friends. They'll be like, oh, how long, right?
Ain't nobody calling the cops though.
No one's
Exactly,
calling.
I
No
was
one's
about to
calling
say.
the cops if I'm like, yo, fuck. Actually, no one's coming. I'm just gonna have all these 10 seats to myself.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think it was very extreme. I'm not gonna say. It was like total racism or anything like that, but I kind of see that it's a little bit of a bias, like, when it comes to racial profiling. It's not like, I don't know. I'm not saying that these people, like, these employees at Starbucks, like, hate black people. Like, I'm just saying, like, it's a subconscious thing. Like, you think they're there to start trouble. Like, they're just there waiting,
Right.
like a normal fucking person. Like,
So
not causing a scene, nothing. So, I don't know.
So to speak to that, now there's of course the school of thought that
Yeah.
the black guys were justified is like that's the right mode of thinking here. I don't think that they did anything wrong either.
Yeah.
A lot of people on social media and a lot of the public backlash is there are a lot of people who have very racist opinions and
Yeah.
they say like, oh, they were freeloading. What do you expect? Blah blah blah. Whatever the argument is, the
Yeah.
CEO came out and chastised the employee who called the police on them first and foremost. So we know that the CEO doesn't agree.
Yeah.
Right. Secondly, Starbucks is now closing 8,000 stores in the U.S. All of their stores
Stupid.
to do this racial bias training. Right?
Okay.
How do you guys feel about that? Actually, you said stupid, so I want to know how you
I
feel.
wanna-
I want
wanna
to hear from blacks.
Here, if you have an opinion, I mean, I'm pretty sure you have an opinion, but
Like we were talking about earlier,
on this, like, what's your stance
this
on
we've all been to restaurants or places that have that policy. If you don't buy something, you can't use their facilities. Our gas stations have that same kind of shit. They have keys, the doors are locked, right? And just like Jen was saying, it does kind of feel like it was kind of blown up out of proportion. Again, if they wanted to come in, they told you, hey, I'm waiting for a friend. We're both right here. I'm pretty sure there's 10 cameras watching us.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's some security guard or police walking somewhere around here.
Yeah.
And we're just waiting for a friend. So, yeah, just to call the police and be that's your first option. That's what you go to. Let me just and four cops need to come in.
Yeah,
you
It
know,
was
like,
it was like 4 or 5
For
cops.
2 guys.
yeah, for you know, and then
guys.
the thing is that his friend does show up
Yeah, the
as he says. So that should
Yep.
not.
the friend
That
show up.
shows
You
that
know,
they're
it's
telling
half
the
and
truth.
half,
The
but I
truth.
know people are going to go back to that main fact and be like, well, they have to buy something to be in the restaurants in there. But again, we all know that there's somebody else in there who didn't buy shit, watching there, sitting there, doing nothing.
And we know that all those people commenting that have done this before.
Same
again, we all
Who hasn't
who has
waited
not?
at a place
who has not
and not bought anything?
We go to study
For your
class or something. We all do it. We go to Timmy's. Starbucks
Hortons.
is the place to go.
Yeah. Starbucks.
You know, we have
Timmy's.
them in our chapters or indigos.
Yeah.
Like it's a lounge. And you go there just to. It is what it is.
You will
So-
never have this problem at Tim Hortons.
And exactly, Tim Hortons. Yeah, no, that's not Tim Hortons' problem.
Tim Hortons, you got the uncles,
Yeah,
you
but-
got the
no, but you got
drug
everybody,
addicts,
yeah.
like you got everyone up in there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I do want to hear from John actually why you think the response is stupid, because I've heard this opinion as well.
What, shutting down all the stores?
To do the racial bias training.
It's just excessive. Like,
Everything about this story seems excessive
Yes.
to me.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I was
the
telling
theme
John
of this
earlier,
story.
I feel like it's kind of just a distraction of other more important stories in the world that we should be paying attention
You're
to.
right. Yeah.
But hey, let's
yeah.
worry about Starbucks. Let's
Yeah.
fucking
Because I think
Yeah.
you know?
people perceive these stories in the wrong way. They don't realize that one wrong move by one dumbass manager doesn't tarnish your whole brand.
But it did.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
No, but that's because
It maybe lost sales for that day, but you're
the
right.
way
though.
most people look at it. Like, I look at it and I see, oh, this one manager fucked up,
yeah.
right? But it's not. I'm not gonna not go to Starbucks just because one manager fucked up at
Yeah.
one Starbucks.
Like
It's
they-
a very isolated incident.
But then they magnified it.
And they, yes.
So
Like
this,
I said, they
yeah.
blew it up. Yeah.
They put
Took it
a
out of
microscope on this shit, and everybody's just
and-
paying
yeah.
attention.
In my opinion, him shutting down 8,000 stores for a day
That was not
to give
needed.
them training is just it's excessive, and it's trying to make it look like you really
Yeah.
fucked up when you didn't. So I think it's a worse move.
Yeah.
It's making you look worse than you are. You should have just left it.
And also, how do you teach someone to not be racially biased?
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, you're gonna instill this
Yeah.
this fakeness into all your management now.
True.
Now when they see colored people walk into the store, they're gonna treat them like kings.
Yeah, like it's gonna have the reverse
It's gonna
effect.
be like
Yeah.
affirmative action Starbucks, like employee treatment or.
But yeah,
customer
yeah. I mean, to my point, this is an isolated incident, right?
treatment.
I'm not saying like the entire fucking organization of Starbucks is racist.
Yeah.
Not saying that. It's a fucking isolated fucking incident. I don't believe Starbucks should be taking this length to correct this. Like, it's
Plus, people want their coffee. What are they gonna do with those 8,000 stores that are closed?
exactly what are all the hipsters gonna do? Where the fuck are they gonna get their coffee? All right,
I do
all right.
have
Let's
one
bust a
thing
shot
to
for the
add
fucking hipsters.
before we move on.
Yeah.
Corporations and the people running these things, they definitely know what they're doing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And race baiting is
Oh.
profitable for them right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Especially
point.
in the world we live in.
Very
Violence
good
hot.
So whether it's H&M, whether it's Starbucks,
Very good point.
I can keep going.
It's a club.
It's a
I was
thing to
about
do.
say, yeah.
Wow.
Race baiting is a thing to do, right?
They're
So
chasing clout.
Clout bucks.
I'm pretty
By
sure in another 6
race.
months or 2 weeks, we're gonna hear about another story about McDonald's
Yeah.
or whoever the fuck doing the same exact thing. And it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, like,
You know?
Starbucks wasn't really in my mind, and now it's kind of.
And now it's the, and
now
now we're all
it's
talking
in the
about
back of my
Starbucks
mind.
again.
Alright, so it's a
Like,
marketing
it's
ploy.
strategic
Yeah.
marketing.
And they're using again
Ice
the Black Lives
Frappuccino
Matter
now,
movement or
right?
what have you, and they're race baiting people. And that's because that's the most sensitive topic in America, and it's there's so many things to go on. Whether it's the blacks, whether it's the Muslims, whether it's the Latinos, we're building the walls to keep up.
Yeah.
It's America has a race issue that they can't seem to acknowledge themselves to talk about it, but this is how they talk about it. This is how they do it. You know?
Well, fuck. I mean, is anyone gonna stop fucking with Starbucks?
I don't really.
I never
fuck
fucked with
Man,
Starbucks.
I got 7 around my house.
So
whatever.
it was.
And we call ourselves hipsters.
Hipsters.
Yeah.
Everybody go out and get the extra black
My girl
coffee.
did. Yeah.
Yo, the extra black, extra dark roast is
Mint
gonna.
chai.
Those sales of extra dark roast is gonna fucking skyrocket, bro.
All right, this is for all of us for not drinking at Starbucks.
Yikes.
We're still hipsters.
Starbucks.
Still hipsters, I swear.
Fuck y'all.
Fuck. So, all right. So, yo, I actually want to change it because listen, if you a gamer out here, tomorrow's 420.
Hey!
You know, shout out to the podheads because tomorrow's 420, all that good stuff. Shout out to the gamers because like tomorrow is like a dawning day we've all been looking forward to. If you own a PS4, if you fucking with the franchise for a long time, and you
Tomorrow is the
definitely
day
looking
of the Lord.
the day. Tomorrow, God of War drops on PS4,
Out of war.
and it was hard to ignore this. It got. So I'm just gonna say it got
10.
10. It got 10 all across the board on
Wait, so
IGN.
IGN 10, GameSpot 10.
GameSpot
Nice.
10.
Nice.
What else?
Turn up.
Game
I think
Radar
those.
is another one?
I'm not. Polygon's another one that I pay
Polygon.
attention to.
I only fuck with GameSpot and
But
IGN.
games. I mean, IGN is the most like. That's the most popular
Yeah.
gaming magazine.
I like my
I'd say.
games like my women. Damn.
Dime piece. We've all seen the game. Have we not all seen the game? We've all seen it. We've all seen clips
man,
of
I've
it.
Yeah,
murdered all
yeah.
these games.
But
completionist,
I've
yeah.
made sure. I've made
Achievement
sure.
hunter.
Yo, for sure. This guy, number 1 completionist of games
But don't look for me,
ever.
though. I
All
don't
right.
fuck with that.
Him and Booth could battle like
Okay.
you know
Not
for
really.
that
Not
type
really.
title.
We- we-
Never.
we-
Never.
Games at different genres
Yeah.
and stuff. Like, he probably has more under his
I
belt
do
than me for
everything.
sure.
Yeah. I'm not just one genre.
for sure.
man.
This guy showed
Okay.
me his trophy list one time. Crazy. Like,
Yeah, right.
Insane.
Say
Like
word.
from 360 to
Doesn't matter what it
PS3,
is. Doesn't matter
PS4,
what
like
platform.
anything.
Yeah.
Bro,
PS2, like yo.
Let's bring out a deck of cards. Like,
I'm gonna go right now.
I'm president.
He's trying to get
Like,
trophies
yeah,
in the fucking president. Anyway, yeah.
Get-
God of War, man.
God
Are
of
you
War.
gonna cop
That's
it?
the
What do you think?
I don't have a.
He's
you know
a-
what's funny? I don't have
He's a
PS4.
PC man.
man.
PC man.
I'm on a PC man right
It's
now.
not gonna, I don't think it's gonna come out on PC because God of War.
No,
is
no,
always-
it's exclusive.
Yeah,
it's definitely
right?
exclusive. But go get it, man.
Would you get a PS4 for this game?
I might rent gems for a night because that's all it's
for
gonna
sure,
take
for
me.
sure.
Yeah, you know, but yeah, go
It's
get
supposed
it.
to be lit.
I'm definitely a fan of that whole franchise for sure.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a fan of
The
that.
crazy thing is, I mentioned on a couple podcasts ago that this is my first entry into the series.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a whole different, like,
You won't see how it's a
experience for me.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this time it's not very hack and slash. I like hack and slash, but I like this type of gameplay better. Like the type of like over the shoulder, Last of Us type of gameplay, a very action RPG-ish. So like it's
But
in that way.
It's gotten 10s from like people who have most likely played the previous one.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
These
yeah, yeah.
hardcore gamer reviewers or whatever.
I'll definitely have to look up a video montage of like the story to catch up
Right,
with
I see, I
it.
feel you. Are you,
Yeah.
John, are you gonna buy this game?
100%, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, mine's in the mail
It's
right
one
now.
of those. I know
There's
we all,
only-
we all look forward to these games. You know,
Yeah.
you know, GTA, God of War. Like, there's just certain
Yeah.
games that
They're
it doesn't
cult-
matter. Uncharted.
They're cult classics.
They're
Yeah,
gonna come
yeah,
out.
yeah.
We're gonna get them.
What about you, Boof? Are you gonna get it?
Probably not. I mean,
Here we go. Here we
the-
go.
The dissenting opinion. Oh
With the
shit.
anti-
The real millennial hipster. The real millennial hipster.
well, actually, I'm just proposing this to Jam like right now. Like,
Oh shit!
Oh,
Pull it up! Pull it up! Pull up!
Yo, bro, let me borrow it when you're done.
right? Because guess what?
Pull it up on me.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to borrow Monster Hunter, right? Would you?
Not when God of War drops.
We're dropping, man. I don't really care.
Well,
like
that's
right
the
now.
whole thing. Like, I don't really care to play God of War like right now. Like,
When I
mean,
saw that trailer
Yeah,
2
you're
years ago
you
or
have
whatever
your
it
fix
dropped.
at the moment.
yeah.
When I saw
You
it,
have your fix.
yeah, it dropped like 2 years ago.
The trailer
fir-
for God of
the
War?
first trailer for it. Yeah.
2 years ago? Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and
When
and-
that dropped,
yeah.
and I realized it was God of War, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And
What the fuck is this?
I'm gonna be right here when Jam's playing it anyway, so I'm gonna
He's
be
just
watching
watching me
him
play
fucking
it.
play
So he probably might not even need me to.
I might not even have to get it.
Yeah, borrow it from me.
Yeah, so-
I don't mean to sound like a hard hipster. Pause. But I will say, like, I'm in your boat. Like, I'm not I'm not like rushing to the store to get this one.
Oh my god.
And I don't know why. I just don't know why. And I think
What
Thing popped up.
installment is this? Do you have names anymore? Is this what 5?
I think well, it's the first one on PS. It's the first God of War on PS4.
Okay.
But
yeah,
there's no
yeah.
number to it. Like they're
Okay.
just
I
naming
think
it God
it's
of War.
4 or 5.
Say 4 or 5.
But
Yeah.
I would say it's
somewhere
around
around
that.
there.
Yeah, it's around 4,
Yeah.
5, or 6. What I will say though is that I mean I'm a combat dude. Like I love games for the combat. And the thing is, in the old God of Wars, you know, it was very hack and slash, like Jan
Yeah.
was saying. You're controlling enemies like all around you in the old ones. Like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
literally dealing with
It's very Bayonetta-ish.
hordes of enemies.
hordes.
It's
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
have like a whip.
Devil May Cry.
Yeah, you
yeah.
got the,
Whip.
the
Devil May
chains.
Cry.
Fire, yeah, chains,
It's
chains
exactly
over
like those, yeah.
But in this new one, the battles are like far more intimate. They're more like
Yeah.
one-on-one type strategy
Yeah,
based.
yeah.
And I think
Okay.
that is what's really gonna hook me when I get starting when I
It's a
dig
very
into it.
different approach.
Yeah, different
you know,
approach.
so-
So shout outs to that. All the potheads are gonna be playing this game tomorrow. It's like, is it a coincidence that J. Cole's new shit is dropping tomorrow too? So it's like you're gonna have J. Cole shit in the back, God of War on the TV, blunt in your hand, like it's just a
And,
trifecta.
yo, did you
Sounds
see,
like a Friday to me.
you see the cover for his new album?
I did. So yo, if you
And-
guys don't know, J. Cole is dropping new music tomorrow. And I want to speak on the cover. Fuck. I
The
did see-
cover.
Shout out to J. Cole, man. I saw the concert last
I just like the cover, man. Yeah, it just showing.
It looks like he's just sunning the whole industry.
He's sunning the whole industry. He's like going for the crown. He's wearing the crown on his, on his head. It looks kind of crazy. You know, he's kind of encompassing the entire industry
as it is right now.
as it is right now. It looks like he's sheltering them. Like he's like,
Protecting them.
yeah.
almost,
He's
eh?
like, come here,
Saving them.
saving them. He's the savior, right? It's an interesting cover. But yeah, I mean, I'm very interested to see what J. Cole does this
And-
year because Kendrick smashed it last year with Damn.
Hold on. We'll finish it.
No
We'll
matter
let you
what,
finish.
no matter what opinions are floating out there, I believe Kendrick is one of the best rappers. He's definitely my favorite at this moment. He's always held that top spot for me since he came out. I haven't found anybody else who has like knocked him off that pedestal as yet. Some people have come close, but
Fuck with King Kunta.
they'll never match him. So, I mean, I just want to get that out there.
Okay, all right.
Before
I want to hear more from you on
anything
that.
else
Definitely
happens.
want to hear. So guys, keep it locked. Tomorrow for J. Cole's new music, it's 12 tracks, no features. So it's just him. It's just him on this
Produced
body.
by
of
him
work.
too.
Everything. It's all him. So
All his beats.
I
Produced.
don't know if it's his beats. I'm not sure. He's probably got some good producers on there.
Because I know he likes to do a lot of the production himself too.
He
right?
does.
Yeah,
Yeah, he does.
yeah.
He's a craftsman.
I fucks with J. Cole, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you can always tell like what kind of vibe the artist is in by the way they look. I mean, J. Cole's on the nappy hair.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like he's
yeah.
woke.
Scruffy beard.
He's woke.
Anti-industry.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. It's
Yeah.
a rebel. That's our look.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
He's gonna try to
Whether
spit
it's
some
Che,
like,
Bob Marley, they all got. That's the look.
He's Bob Marley'd out right now.
Yeah, that's the look.
Yeah.
yeah,
Looking forward to that.
That's a
some
savior
woke
look.
shit.
That's a savior look. He's ready to save.
So yeah,
Don't save us.
shouts to J. Cole. Definitely looking forward to that. But I also definitely was speaking of heavy hitter rap artists, and like you just said, Kendrick Lamar just won the Pulitzer Prize, and this prize is usually awarded to authors, to writers of amazing works. And Kendrick Lamar was just awarded the Pulitzer Prize for his Damn album,
For
the
like
entire album.
2017, like there's one winner a year, or like what?
I don't know if there's one
Or
winner.
did he win like lyricist of the year? Or something
It's
like that?
specifically for his writing, the writing portion
Okay.
of Jam, like so the lyrics essentially. And listen, the Pulitzer Prize is very prestigious.
No, but I'm saying, can an author also win the Pulitzer Prize?
Yes, it's intended for a writer. It's
For that
intended
year
for a
though,
writer.
like he won it for 2017.
That's a really good
Or is it
question.
just Kendrick is the one winner for that year?
This is for 2018, and I think there's only one winner
Wow,
Oh.
that is insane.
out of multiple genres.
That is insane.
Multiple genres.
Speaking
and-
of the Kendrick Damn, have you guys gone back and listened to it backwards? Like the
no,
track
I haven't done
backwards?
that. I actually haven't done that.
Me either.
Oh.
Have you?
No, I haven't.
I
But
should though.
They re-released the special edition where the track list is.
I was reversed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
sick.
guess I kind of have if you put your shit on shuffle or not, or just we banged the fuck out of that album. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of people did, man.
Absolutely.
Shit went
Do
heavy.
people re-buy it backwards? Why don't you just
Why didn't download it?
Why don't you make a
rapper.
playlist backwards?
Yeah.
True, right?
I thought Kendrick's
Like
your favorite
it
rapper.
clearly,
You're not gonna buy the
that's the
backwards
end of it.
album.
Like it all ties.
So,
The outro fully sounds back to the intro.
At least
It's all a loop, like,
bootleg the backwards album.
but, even that.
bootleg the backwards.
Listen, I mean, I think I speak for the majority of people. I think he's well deserving of it. I think. Listen, I got hooked on Kendrick Lamar when Good Kid, Mad City came out, and of course, I was familiar with Section 80. I was familiar with High Power, and I wrote this record with 30,000 Feet in the Air. I love that song. I love Hold
Yo,
Up.
ADHD.
I love ADHD.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree that, like, listen, Kendrick is like up there. But Jam told me earlier this week, he was like, okay, he won the Pulitzer Prize, but I got some strong opinions about this, so I need him to just. I've been waiting on this. I've been waiting to hear this about what he really thinks about this Pulitzer Prize thing, and I was talking to some of my friends. I was talking to a whole bunch of people on their opinions about Kendrick and how he won the Pulitzer Prize, and they say, well, he's working. He's different from an artist like Drake, who's singing about fucking
booty bitch.
his new liquor. Like, who knows, right? So yeah, I just want you to speak on that for a good minute.
All right, you're trying to like act all nice on the podcast right now, and I see that. All right, I got some shots. All right, done.
Jam like hates Kendrick.
Alright, where's that?
Yeah, I want to hear that.
Kendrick Lamar. Jam like hates Kendrick Lamar.
All right, that's an excerpt from earlier. All right, so here's my stance on this whole thing. I had very strong opinions about this in the group chat earlier this week, and
It's trash. No.
here's my stance. So, Kendrick Lamar, he wins the Pulitzer Prize for 2018 for Damn. So, listen to what I just said. For Damn, right? It's not like, a Pulitzer Award for the artist, just Kendrick Lamar as an artist. It's for Damn in specific, right?
Album.
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
For me, being a longtime Kendrick Lamar fan, I feel that he's had way more stronger work in the past. For me, like, I like anything that's like super cryptic, super deep. I don't know how anybody else feels, but movies.
Nope.
I love movies with like twist endings. Movies that you actually have to like think about. Albums that you actually have to think about. Very conceptual type of stuff. So that's why Kendrick really drew me in with like all of his albums. But Damn in specific, I feel like he felt like he needed to water it down kinda to reach a certain audience, or reach like just a wider audience.
What
I'm
songs did he
being
water
very
down?
fucking hipster right now.
What
I've been
songs did he-
encompassing the millennial hipster attitude right
What
now.
songs did he water down though? What songs on that album did he? Do you think he
Musically,
watered down?
Damn was in my opinion, Damn was his best project.
Well, I want to know what songs you
But
think
the
he watered
Pulitzer
down.
thing would be more focused on the lyrics and the story he's telling, right?
Right.
Story,
So I think that's the
It's-
point
it's-
you're
it's
trying to
it's
get
the
at.
poems,
Yeah.
for sure.
Like songs like Royalty, like shit like that.
I mean, he
Most
so,
of
okay,
them, you can't
if you
knock
want to
that
be
off.
specific examples, songs like Royalty, I like Royalty, don't get me wrong.
Of course.
It's a song I jammed out to a lot, but it has no, like, to me, it really has no, like, he sucked out
Oh,
all the
okay,
substance, like, from that he would actually try to put in a track, like, if he wasn't trying to cater to a fucking mass of fucking
Shimmy out,
mainstream.
shimmy out, shimmy
Yeah, like, what the I mean, okay, let me just calm down.
Hey, just calm down. You got a real millennial.
No, I do understand where Jam is coming from.
Yeah, absolutely.
so-
Again, listen, being a fan of Kendrick,
song-
like he is,
It's
yeah.
hard. This is difficult
It's
to talk
very,
about.
very hard for him.
There's Love, which I don't hate Love. Well, I mean, I don't hate Love in general. I don't hate the song, but that was like the weakest song on the album. Like,
I want to be with you.
he could have definitely came more conceptual on that song. He's a great writer. He writes like novels when he writes
It's
songs.
true. It's crazy.
But he decided to write a fucking comic book
He needs
for that
those,
song.
He needs those radio singles though.
He does, and I feel that he was forced to do that.
It's hard for an
It
artist
is
though
when
to
you get
evolve.
that- yeah.
That's what it is. It's hard for an artist to evolve when they're like a person like an artist like Kendrick,
Yeah.
who is cryptic, who is unique, who is
Yeah.
a very.
I'm not
different-
saying he wasn't. He's super cryptic
Right,
on this album.
Right.
Like, you know, but like he's been way more conceptual on other projects. But go ahead. Yeah.
Right. I think, and appreciating everything he's saying, I think it is hard for an artist to evolve without trying to put his foot into the mainstream. You know, and we've seen it. I personally have seen it with other artists like I hate to always harp on Joey Badass, but I love Joey Badass.
Oh
And the
yeah,
thing is,
yeah.
it's
He's
like,
great. He's great.
The reason why he is not where Kendrick Lamar is because he stuck to his organic roots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
chose
Yeah.
not to go onto the radio. Of course, his bangers are sometimes.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
which is
But-
like a reason why I don't really listen to him because I haven't been
and,
exposed.
Yeah,
to
and
him.
there it
been
is.
exposed to him,
And
yeah.
there it is.
Yeah.
But I want to also know is like, what? And this goes to a question for everyone. What do you think is Kendrick's like Illmatic? That's my other question. Like, if it wasn't Damn, then what of his
Well,
works?
I think everybody's. I'm not gonna. Well, yeah, I'm gonna speak for everybody because everybody shares the same sentiment every time. It's Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
Good
anybody
Kid
say
is
no
my
here?
Illmatic.
I can't not
I
say
think
no.
I think Damn is better than Good Kid, Mad City.
Really?
That's his Illmatic.
That might be a Stillmatic to it, but even then,
It's
no.
Stillmatic.
It's-
Good Kid, Mad City is so amazing.
I don't know. It
It's
hit,
so
us at, it hit us
amazing.
at a point.
I
If
love
it wasn't for that
fucking
album,
yo.
Kendrick would have been just like, oh, it's another.
Like,
album.
imagine if he
Yeah.
didn't have Good Kid, Mad City.
Maybe
I
I-
can
no,
see how
I wouldn't
Damn
have
would
put him
not
on that
be.
pedestal.
Yeah. I'm not trying to shit on Damn. Damn's a great
no.
album.
Yeah.
Bump that, but that's my take on it. I feel that
You think Good Kid, Mad City is his
he's
best
getting
work?
praise from all these institutions now
Yeah.
because he kind of watered it down, and he has sales to prove it now.
Yeah,
That
for
he has sales to prove that he's sick
The
now.
numbers don't lie.
He has albums under his belt to prove that he's sick now. He has all these endorsements to prove that he's sick now. So now he's getting awards. Why couldn't he get an award before Damn?
Because
He showed all of this, talent
Yeah.
before.
well,
You gotta-
You know what I
I
mean?
just want to say it's the accumulation of all that talent that brought him to this point to make Damn.
Yeah.
He can't make another Good Kid, Mad City or be super conscious. He has to make this album.
It's almost like people didn't think he could make pop songs.
well, I mean,
And
like,
then as soon as he made pop songs, everyone's like, yo, he's fucking sick.
well, that's the thing. He didn't really have pop songs or a pop album before, but he needs this in his library for the
Yeah,
It's
fans.
not
it's-
really a pop. There's like two tracks. Two or
Right, I
three
mean,
tracks
again,
in it. So if you just take those two songs out, then it's your old Kendrick.
I guess. I mean,
Minus
Well,
maybe two.
I'm just
others.
saying.
I'm trying, in my mind, I'm
Yeah.
A being Good Kid, Mad City. And
Yeah.
I'm forgetting To
Section-
Pimp a Butterfly.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Oh, yeah.
That album is so. I totally forgot about that.
That
album,
is
right?
the epitome of
That was after
art
Good Kid.
rap.
That was after. Yeah.
That is art rap to me.
Yeah.
That is completely a masterpiece. A lot of people. It did get a lot of awards. It did get a lot of nominations, but I feel that it kind of gets overlooked because it wasn't a straight hip hop album.
Mhm.
It was very jazz influenced, very instrumentative. I don't know the fucking
I think it
word I'm
depends on
trying to-
how you choose to consume music too. Because if you want to really appreciate Kendrick Lamar, you need to sit down and dedicate that 10 minutes or whatever, that 1 hour to listen to that album and focus on it. Versus like other music where you can just kind of have playing and give it your undivided attention and still consume all of its contents.
Like Lil Pump's music
No,
in the back.
that's an extreme. I don't know.
See, he's not that type of artist to me, but I guess we have differing opinions. But
It's like a movie. You need to sit down and pay attention.
Right. No, I agree.
Yeah.
You gotta read it over a couple times. View it a couple times.
his albums are the equivalent to Inception for me, or The Shining, or
I see. I get
Kendrick
it.
Lamar super.
movies like that. But yeah,
Shit,
I'm done.
well,
I'm
yeah,
done.
Well,
guys.
you know what? Yo, congratulations to Kendrick Lamar. I mean, listen, we're all looking forward to his next work and his next work and his next work, and I don't think any of his works have really disappointed us at all. And yeah, man, I particularly loved his delivery on the Black Panther soundtrack. It's the way, the thing is, it's when I listened to the Black Panther soundtrack, I listened to the soundtrack before I saw the movie, and that was the only reason I wanted to see the movie. Because throughout the movie, I was just thinking about Kendrick Lamar, and I almost wanted Kendrick Lamar to be like T'Challa. Like I wanted him to be the main character or some shit. It was weird for me. So multifaceted, multi-talented.
What's up, Otto?
I think we all agree. What's up, Ottawa? You know what I'm saying? Kendrick, come and show some love to Toronto. Come back, do a concert. I've seen him live. Fucking sick live.
Or did you go to the Down tour?
No, I didn't. I saw him at Cool House before it closed down. Oh, no, sorry. I saw him at...
Real man.
I saw him at Cool House. And that was an amazing... That was during Good Kid, Mad City, too. And he was, like, insane. He came out so humble, like, in a dirty hoodie. Just, like, him on the stage.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it was crazy. And yeah, man, just shouts to Kendrick Lamar, Pulitzer Prize. That's big shit. I really think he's like the new Nas. I feel like he's like a new Nas. Like he's like the 2018 Nas, man.
It's not like fucking Drake.
Yeah,
Not at all.
not at all. Yeah, man. What else is popping? If anyone else has anything else to get off, man. Fuck.
Shit, did I just like bomb the set right
Nah,
now? I just
not
was
even.
Like, yo,
What do you
jab,
mean?
just like. All right. Let's move on.
What's
I guess we'll just segue into like this. I guess this last topic about internet triggers.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Internet triggers?
Internet triggers, like shit you see on the internet. You just like start. You have to comment.
This
Like-
spans
Like
so
what we
much.
just talked about. Like that was kind of an internet trigger.
Pulitzer Prize. When you see a headline, you just get so passionate about it.
This is.
I saw the WhatsApp.
Yeah, sorry. I just have to draw the direct example. Shoot, but yeah.
Jam like hates.
Oh my god.
Yo, I saw some shit on. You saw some shit on Reddit today.
I'm like pressing the wrong. Yeah.
So this restaurant in what was it, Montreal, France? Where was some French dominated place?
Yeah.
Is serving up poutines
Oh right.
in a dog's dish. And
Oh yeah.
this lit Reddit on fire this morning, and basically it was like a picture of a poutine, right? And at first glance, you don't see that it's served in a dog dish.
Yeah.
It looks like a sick ass poutine.
The question is, would you eat this?
Would you eat it?
From a dog dish.
Yeah.
Right. Would you eat it from a dog dish?
I mean, why not? Specifically a dog dish? It's still a bowl.
Yeah.
It's a dog.
I mean,
It's never been eaten from by a dog. It's
No,
not
yeah,
dirty.
exactly.
Nothing like that.
I've
Yeah,
been
yeah.
to restaurants where it's part of the
Right.
Like the theme.
the theme, if you want to call it that. You know, I've eaten out of a boat and an ice cream, and it's
Right.
Yeah.
so what the fuck is a bowl? Like it's still a bowl.
I just want to say I know picky people, and like
Yeah.
Speak
so
on it. Speak
Like
on
they
it.
think that the dog just licked
Right.
it, and there's a dog in the back.
that's what's going through
It's still a
people's
fucking
mind.
bowl, no
They're
matter
like,
what. What do you mean?
They're like,
is-
was this a dog's bowl? Was it?
Or they
You know?
feel, or I feel like they feel like they're being disrespected by being served
Yeah.
food in a dog's
Man,
bowl.
that's
Hold on,
kind of
okay,
fucking.
wait.
And you have to eat it with no cutlery.
Like, yeah.
They don't.
Okay,
You know what?
that is where I draw the
They
line.
didn't say
Yes.
that. Yeah, they didn't add that part in. Like it was just straight
Yes.
gravy and fucking cheese in my hand.
Eat up, you piece of
Yeah,
shit.
no. Okay, well, then that changes. The
And they
story a
don't
little bit
give you your water or your beer in a glass. They pour that in the dog dish.
No, yeah, see,
Would you drink that?
that's straight up.
It's a real experience.
You're looking for that punishment if you go for that. Right?
Yeah,
That's your
big
thing.
dog,
Yeah. I want to eat out of a bowl. It's 2018, man. There's a lot of fetishes out there, bro.
Or like if you're the only colored person in the restaurant, they give you the dog dish.
Oh. Sacre, bro.
Everyone has sick plates and shit.
But as I was going through the comments on Reddit, people were like up in arms about this shit. It was crazy, and it's so funny.
It's Reddit though.
Because yeah, I get it. It is
Reddit
it is
is
Reddit.
always like that.
It's so funny because Jam showed me the pic and was like, "Yo, would you eat this?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'd eat it. It's a poutine. It's dope, right?" And then I looked at the picture again. I was like, "Wait, like, is that a dog dish?" Like, I was like, and then he clarified with me. He was like, "Yo, it's you notice that it's in a dog dish, right?" And then when he asked me, when he made that fact like explicit, I had to like reconsider all my. I had to like recheck myself, and I was like, "Oh fuck, like,
Yeah,
would I
like,
really
I don't
be
know,
just
man.
caught eating out of this dog dish? Like, I don't know now. Like, fuck."
Yeah,
dude.
and I made it a note to not tell you
Right,
it was a
right.
dog dish. I
Dog
just
dish,
posted
yeah.
the picture. I'm like, would you eat
Would
this?
you eat this?
And you're like, yeah, sure, why not?
Fuck, whatever,
I
right?
noticed that shit right away, man. I'm like,
I did not.
That's
I was
funny.
like,
Yeah, like, I mean,
I
as a person with a pet, like my
But that-
dog dish is clean. Like
But that shows that
Like, you know,
some
so-
people would not take that into account. Like
Right.
they would
I
be
know,
like,
but-
fuck
right.
it. Like you know what I mean? Like who cares?
why would they
Who
do
cares?
that though? Like,
And
why
then
not
some
just-
people would actually like be like, oh, I'm offended.
Like-
Sacre bleu. Like,
Is
fuck
this
it.
like some specialty poutine? Like, what is this called? Like, why not just give it to me in a regular thing? Why is it?
Because
in
they're
the
trying to
dog
be.
I'm trying to be hipster.
Different.
Trying to be
That's what it is.
millennial
That's
hipster.
what it is. Like,
But it is like a theme.
I got food from was it Moxie's or Monster? And it was on it was basically a big cutting board.
Yeah.
The cutting board was my plate.
Okay.
They give
And-
you a chef's cutting board that he just like started.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
like-
and that was
Like,
great.
fucking
And it was
didn't
kind
care.
I thought it was kind of cool because I could hold the fucking board out.
Yeah.
Whatever, but it's
Yeah, it's for the experience.
It's just a delivery of it. Man.
It's just like how they
But
serve.
this is not like a pleasant delivery. This is.
Yeah.
Again,
that's-
man, put it this way:
Humans are still using a
people
cutting
are
board.
going to this restaurant or whatever.
It's like
People are ordering this
Montreal.
thing.
How many places sell poutine? Oh, maybe I should go to the place that's different.
That's has a dog.
You know, fucking
dog
poutine in a
Again,
dog.
Yeah.
But I mean, you never know because some places,
Bullshit, man.
some places you go to, they serve drinks in mason jars, right? And you don't, they,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
they don't
yeah.
really
Yeah.
advertise that
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
Like you walk in and like you realize that they're
Exactly.
serving things in different things.
Yeah.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah, it's
I guess
just
they're trying.
something
They're trying to
different.
be interesting.
That's
They're trying to
all
be
it is.
different. They're trying to,
Yeah.
so they could, you know, tell
But
their friends.
those are all things that they aesthetically they look good and I guess
Something about
ergonomically
dog
it works.
dishes is very triggering. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like dog dishes just kind of like disrespect
Yeah.
straight to you.
But like I said,
Right,
man,
right.
my pet's stainless steel bowl. It's clean. It's
Yeah.
nothing dirty about it. Like
So this kind of ties into the social media triggering kind of
Yeah, I
theme.
guess so. Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, I wanted Boof to pop this
Doing
shit
it
up
for the
because it looked like you wanted to say
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
about
you're
dog
like-
Oh well, no. I was gonna say like I wish we had the information. Like, what do we know? We don't know about the restaurant, right? Like,
It's just a picture.
do people
Literally.
like like I was saying earlier, like, would you eat it or not, or would you ask about it? The thing is, like, if you're walking into this restaurant knowing that you're gonna get this poutine and they serve it in dog dishes, yeah, I'd eat it. But if I go in there and I'm just seeing on the menu and it says nothing about it being served in a dog dish, then I mean, if they bring it to me, I'd ask. I'd be like, oh, like, is this, you know? But then V was saying if it was called something like the dirty dog poutine, then I mean, you don't really have, you can't really say anything. Like,
Yeah.
anyway, so that's all I want to say on this topic. We could. There's this next last thing I guess we could just josh around about the 911 operator
Oh shit!
who's hanging up on everybody. Everyone.
Ain't nobody got time.
Hanging up on everyone.
Wait, wasn't
That's
that? It's
fucked,
not
man.
that lady.
This is in the States, right?
Yeah, in the States.
You
in
have
the
one
States.
job: answer the fucking phone.
She went to jail.
Why was she hanging up on them though?
Yeah.
So basically, it was a 911 operator. When people would call in, she would just hang up. This is the States.
to thousands of people.
What? That's
They
crazy.
say thousands,
That's kind of common, you know.
thousands
I
of
guess
callers.
so.
Common, yeah.
Yeah.
And if they don't believe that your story is legit to them,
44 years
Oh, I
old.
thought she's just hanging up right away.
Maybe she
that
was.
specific one. But again, there's all these videos of people calling saying, "Listen,
Crenshonda Williams, 44 years old, was found
Okay.
guilty Wednesday and awaits
Yikes.
trial.
Guilty. Okay, so she's
Yeah.
being like criminally charged.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks like she doesn't like to answer the phone. That picture, right?
Yeah.
Is this the
Um,
same as the cops not showing up? Like, doesn't that happen in impoverished areas anyway?
And-
Like,
And that's what I said. You know, when these guys call in, they're like, "Oh yeah, well that happens every day, anyways," and they don't care.
Okay, and so
Yeah.
here's the sentencing. So 18 months probation and 10 days in jail for this.
Okay, that's adequate.
I mean, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
You know?
Suspension from her job, again, proper training. Hey,
Yeah.
imagine she goes on to being the best 911 call agent.
They're not gonna hire her again.
Yeah.
And I just think the overall theme about all these things, about the dog dish, about Starbucks, about being hung
Give
up
her the
on
dog dish.
when you call 911 is like this whole thing about just like corporate social responsibility and like just like how business has just been fucking up lately.
Yeah.
And just customer service, you know. And one last thing, I wanted to just tie in with Starbucks. Since everyone's popping this shit off about Starbucks, I really just have to communicate my disgust for this little coffee shop in Scarborough by the name of Coffee Culture. It's quite possibly like if you guys are mad at Starbucks, this coffee shop, it's like
Kennedy Commons.
No, it's
No, it's on
more Durham area.
Markham and Ellesmere. It's on Markham and Ellesmere.
They're all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah, they are all over the place. It's like you cannot get hassled by the fucking Nazi manager before you sit down. Like he makes sure you buy something. You can't ask for the Wi-Fi.
As soon as you walk through the
As
door,
soon
it's
as
like,
you walk
yo,
through the
you
door,
want?
they're on you like a fucking hawk. Like, there's obviously, and to make it worse, there's never space, there's never tables. You know what I'm saying? And like,
Fuck.
I hate the coffee culture. Sucks. Like honestly, like I'll never go back there. The wait staff is trash. Like they're so rude. And I feel like when I saw this Starbucks article, I immediately just thought of coffee culture. Like I
Well,
immediately
You got triggered.
To be honest, okay, this is if I was running a coffee shop or a little lounge like this or whatever, or a cafe, and if there was no one inside, then I wouldn't mind people just sitting and not buying anything.
right.
But if people are trying to get in and there's people sitting and not buying anything, then I'm kicking them out.
I can understand that. I can understand
bet
that.
that,
I just think. See, that I can understand, but when you actually come face to face with the people that work there, it's like. The dude is South Asian too, and he's like an uncle, and he's like annoying, and he's very condescending, and he almost assumes, he almost like knows you're not gonna buy shit. He's just like, he's already ready to like jump on.
He's like on you as
Yeah.
he's like
for sure.
piggyback riding you
It's
as soon as you're
crazy.
fucking through the door.
It's just not a good
Yeah,
feel.
he can
What you gonna buy? What you gonna buy?
he can approach that situation better. Right?
Yeah,
He can
I
do
would,
it more subtly.
I would
He's
say
like chasing away his customers.
you know, and I just think it just ties into this.
Do you
whole
think
thing.
he racially profiles?
I'm brown, he's
he's
brown.
brown, he's brown.
He's-
Or do you
Hey,
think
fuck, we do
he?
it to each other. Don't lie. Like, trust me.
Do you think he age
The color
profiles?
brown is race.
He's like, oh, this young motherfucker is coming to my shop. I hope he buys something.
Yeah.
He's coming through with his fucking chain and his grills and his,
You know what's crazy? If a white dude with this 3-piece suit came on, I could guarantee, and that place was packed, I could guarantee he would not give that dude any flack.
He probably like
Like-
offer him coffee.
Bruh, like, you know what I mean? And sometimes they do that. Sometimes they do give complimentary pieces of whatever it may be. And it's
To
very
who, though?
selective. Yeah, that's the thing. And you know what's crazy with this whole Starbucks thing? It's like, there's gonna be so many, like, pranks and, like, tests on YouTube
Oh
now.
my God.
2 white guys walk in,
Yeah.
then 2 black guys walk in, and this is the difference. Like, we're gonna see so
Yep,
many of those things
yep.
on the internet.
Yeah. Is this like you ever see the whole walking through New York as a
In
slang?
spandex pants
Yeah.
or some shit.
Yeah.
Like,
It started
oh,
with the woman one. So
Right.
walking
For
through New York
catcalling, you
as
mean.
a
Yes.
cat calling, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was like a million of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Like, after that
The
controversy.
guy didn't get no hits, nothing.
Yeah.
And then there's like bare parodies. The one dude is
Yeah.
like walking by and he can't
And
get
he-
seats.
and he comes
No
back.
one stops
Yeah.
bothering it.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, where'd you get those shoes?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Shit, I don't really know if anything else popped off this week. We like an hour and something.
We
deep.
killed it. We killed
Yeah,
it.
we did kill this one.
Congratulations, Joe.
Thank you for rocking with us. Like, this is the 12th episode.
Yep.
We do it for you guys. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, like, all that YouTube-y shit. The Instagram shit, too. Check us out on Instagram. Follow for follow. And listen, hit us up with comments. Hit us up with your feedback. Like, we want to know what's popping with y'all. We want to know what to talk about. If you guys have pressing issues that you guys want to bring to the forefront, we'll definitely feature them on the show. If you guys have channels you guys want us to promo, we'll do promos for promos. Anything that really will really keep us hot. So,
More tunes
So,
for
yeah.
your head tops.
Yeah, yo.
way more tunes for your head tops. And I think we out. I think we out.
Yeah. We out.
We out of here, yo.
Good night.